Welcome to CIC Voices. I'm Tyson Weatherspoon, and today I'm here with
Derek Minner.
And before we get started, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, hi. My name, like I said, is Derek Minter. I am the executive director at Foxwood Springs Senior Living in Raymore, Missouri. I'm currently the father of two boys, Jacoby and Julian Minter, who you actually go to school
Yes.
with. I'm food extraordinaire. I love food. And most importantly, I'm a big diehard New England Patriots fan. So,
All right, well, today that's what we're going to be talking about, the New England Patriots. And the first question I want to ask you is, do the Patriots have a chance in this game?
without a doubt.
You think so?
I love the doubters. I love that people think that we just got lucky to get into the Super Bowl, but I watch them day in, day out. I buy an NFL Sunday subscription just so I can watch every game. We're a lot better than what people think we are.
Really? You think that you can outlast the Seahawks defense? Because that defense is probably the best in the league.
It might be one of the best. I'm going to go and say we're the best. If you do the
Really?
points throughout the playoffs, we have allowed the least amount of points in the playoffs.
Okay.
And we have a top 5 defense, too.
I will say, and you guys do have, I feel like your biggest advantages definitely come from quarterback, because Drake May, let's be honest, is definitely better than Sam Darnold. But I will say Sam Darnold probably has better wide receivers than Cooper Kupp and Jackson Smith and Jigba. Do you think that's going to be a mismatch throughout the game?
No, because what people don't fail to understand is that we have a first-round cornerback in the name
That's
of
true.
Gonzalez.
That is
Or
true,
as
yes.
Me and my son like to call him Gonzo.
Gonzo, yep.
We have him. We have Carlton Banks, who's
Yep.
another great one. And then we also have Marcus Jones as a nickelback. So we have a really strong defensive backfield to cover those receivers.
And with both of these defenses being so strong, do you think this is going to be a low-scoring game, or do you think there's going to be points across the board?
I definitely don't think it's going to be points across the board unless it comes into a one-sided affair. I believe it's probably going to be about 40 points spread between the two teams.
You think so? Okay.
Yep.
And I get a lot of accusations and allegations that the Patriots got here because of their schedule. What do you have to say to those people?
Okay. So that's one of my favorite things to talk about. I hear that a lot at work. Of course, being in Kansas City, everybody's a Chiefs fan. And that's one of the things I hear is, they just got by with a lucky schedule. But we beat some of the same teams that the Seattle Seahawks beat. We beat the Baltimore Ravens. We beat. Let's go down the list. The Denver Broncos.
Yeah, that's a
Houston
tough team.
Texans. We beat them. The Chargers. We beat them. We beat Buffalo. The Super Bowl
Those are
favorite
real
going
teams.
into
Yeah,
the playoffs.
that's true, yeah.
We knocked off that team. So, to say that we had a simple schedule, everybody had 3 or 4 weak teams on their schedule. That's the NFL.
Yeah.
But it's no justification to say that's why we're in the Super Bowl, because we had a weak schedule.
I do have to ask you, what changed with the loss to the Raiders at the beginning of the season? I know there were a lot of doubters with how far the Patriots would get this season. What do you think changed to make them get off to this great finish to the season?
Well, I believe it's the culture and the belief in each other. The New England Patriots, they came off a 4-13 season before, so there's a lot of doubt, a lot of new faces in there. Some chemistry that need to be done. You have a new head coach, new offensive coordinator. Even though Josh McDaniels has been with the team before in the past, he was still new to this team.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of culture building that has to happen, and Mike Vrabel does a great job at that. We saw that when he was in Tennessee. He did the same thing there. And New England has a saying that they say, we all we got, we all we need. And that holds so true in the sports world. When you're in a team, it's really the people in the uniform next to you that you have on the field, and I think they bought into that, and as they got to know each other more and more and became more comfortable, that made the big difference. They started off rocky and then things smoothed out.
And I think mindset really can have a huge effect on your team and how successful they are. But you mentioning that 4-13 record kind of brings me into my next question. What changed from last year into this year that made the Patriots so much better?
Well, I think last year you were still the New England Patriots were still dealing with the remnants of Bill Belichick and all that stuff, and Tom Brady and everything. And I think clearing house, getting rid of most of that stuff, and bringing in some new faces. Our team is, I think, around 70% new faces.
Oh yeah.
So they got rid of a lot of people and brought in some veterans who.
Stephon Diggs,
Stephon Diggs for one. They brought in some leadership with Harold Landry on the defensive side. So it was a true changing of the guard in New England. So you don't have the old traditions of Bill Belichick there, even though Bill will always be a part of New England and his theories will always somewhat be there. It's a lot of new faces, a lot of fun culture. You know, everybody, one thing they used to talk about during the Bill Belichick era was the players, they all seem like robots in interviews.
Yeah.
You know, if you watch their interviews now, they speak their mind.
Yeah,
They're
they
very
look excited.
opinionated. They're happy to be there, and I think that's the big thing.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And even you brought a former Lion, Carlton Davis, as a corner on that team. So I do think that introducing some of those new faces really did, bring the team to what it is now. But I do have to ask you about Bill Belichick. What do you think about him getting denied first ballot Hall of Fame?
You know what? To me, the Hall of Fame is just, it makes absolutely no sense. It's definitely, I know there's controversy about, Spygate, Deflategate, and all that. But that's 2 years of his entire career.
Yeah.
He won 2 Super Bowls before he came to New England. He won 6 more when he got to New England. He's the second most winningest coach of all time.
Oh yeah.
He's been to 15
divisional
championships.
Crazy amount, yeah.
He's first in every category.
Yeah.
So to say no, we're not going to put him in the Hall of Fame because of Deflategate and Spygate really is just a slap in the face to him and to the NFL as a whole.
Why not say no to Tom Brady? He did Deflategate too. They're not going to say no to him.
Absolutely. Adam Vinatieri. He was the kicker. He's one of the Hall of Fame this year.
Exactly, yeah.
So, it really is just a slap in the face to Bill Belichick, Oh, Bill will always have a special place in my heart because that was 20 years of fun for me to watch them play and watch them win.
And I get a lot of comparisons that Drake May could carry on the torch from Tom Brady. Do you think he has what it takes to be the future of the franchise?
That's tough. That's tough.
Tom Brady's big shoes to fill.
I can't put that on him right now. He's only in his second year. And this is a huge feat. One of the things, stepping away from New England and talking about Chiefs, I always told Chief fans, what Patrick Mahomes did is amazing in what he's doing. But to get to the Super Bowl that many times, there's quarterbacks that never step foot in the Super Bowl.
Exactly. I'm a Lions fan, so I know.
You know. So to get there once is one thing. To get there 5 times or 6 times or in Tom Brady's case 10 times is
it's crazy.
Is not normal.
That's not normal, yeah.
I would love to see Drake May have another run like Tom Brady. As long as he's in New England, I'm good with that. But man, that's a high mountain.
High expectations.
Yes, absolutely. I'll take 3.
3? I'll take 1 as a Lions fan.
Absolutely.
And Robert Kraft, he got denied Hall of Fame too, right?
Yes, he did. And once again, just a slap in the face.
I know,
I mean, he buys the program in the 90s and completely flips it, Took him a few years. He got in when I was growing up and I was your age, it was Drew Bledsoe was going to be the guy to take us to the mountaintop, and he did take us to a Super Bowl and we lost, but we thought he was going to be the future, and then he gets hurt, and Tom Brady jumps in.
6th round pick steps in, and then
absolutely, and the rest is history.
Exactly.
But Robert Kraft orchestrated all that. You don't get to bring those players in without him giving you the say so. So for him not to get in is also, to me, it's just a snub in the face. And somebody in the NFL or in that committee has a vendetta against those
something
guys.
against him. Yeah, you couldn't find a single athlete, a single owner, a single sports fan. You couldn't find a kid in Pop Warner that says that Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick aren't first ballot Hall of Famers. It's just,
It's insane.
And to kind of wrap this up and speak about the Super Bowl a little bit more, do you think the passing game or the running game is going to be more dominant in the Super Bowl?
Well, starting with New England first, it's definitely we're a run-pass team. So we got to get the ball going first on the ground. So it's important that we get Ramondre Stevenson and Trayvon Henderson going. We get that run game going. Now we get to go into our play-action pass, which has kind of been the secret formula for New England. Even back when Tom Brady was there, we'd get the run game going, and now we're hitting
fear the run. Yep.
And then we hit you with the play-action pass. And that's been the formula for New England this season. We start running, and then next thing you know, Drake May hits Keyshawn Boutte for a touchdown on a deep bomb.
Yeah, and he's had a great season too. I was surprised with some of those catches he's had. Keyshawn Boutte, So
that's what we got to do. And then on the Seattle side, they got Kenneth Walker. He's a great running back. So. Can they get him going? And then their pass game, I definitely give them the higher ground with having Jackson Smith and Jigba. Former Ohio State, go Buckeyes.
That dude is crazy. That dude is, he's lighting up the NFL right now.
Absolutely.
But I feel like the best way that the Patriots can win is forcing Sam Darnold out of his comfort zone, because I honestly don't think Sam Darnold is that great of a quarterback. And I think if you force him to like do stuff he's not used to, I feel like he throws a lot of picks, he does a lot of overthrows, and I feel like that's going to be the winning formula for the New England Patriots.
Absolutely, and one of the things New England has done a lot more in the playoffs is blitz, and that's going to be a big part of of this game. Sam Darnold is a pocket quarterback.
Yeah, make him run to his left, and you can get him to make a lot of mistakes. Yeah,
exactly. Get him out of the pocket, make him throw on the run, make him see things that he's not used to seeing.
Yeah,
I always joke with Julian. Julian's a big Seahawks fan. I always tell him we're gonna make him see ghosts again, like he saw when he was in New York.
Yep, exactly. All right, well, it was great having you on.
Yes,
Derek.
thank you. Pleasure to be on.
All right, well, CIC Voices, we're out.